right, so here we have number 17. Number 17, this is a geometry problem. This deals with similar triangles, Now, first off, there are some things about this problem, and I'll probably type up the complete problem. It's kind of a long problem, but I'll probably type up the complete problem and put them in the description notes at a time in the future. But the word respectively is used in this problem, and we have to know what the word respectively means. The word respectively means that if you list a bunch of line segments and then you list a bunch of measurements for those line segments, that means that the first line segment matches up with the first measurement. The second line segment matches up with the second measurement. The third line segment named matches up with the third line segment or the third measurement. That's what the term respectively means. All right. So that's how I know that segment AB is 1,800 feet. Segment BE is 1,400 feet. Segment BD is 700 feet. Segment CD is 800 feet. Also, I'm told that angle AEB is congruent to angle CDB. I'm also told that as well, right? And also, I know that vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles are angles that are formed by or angles that share a vertex. So this vertex B, these two angles share the vertex B, right? Or when an X is created, the angles that are across from each other are called vertical angles. So this angle and this angle are vertical angles, not adjacent to each other. They got to be non-adjacent. That's the other thing too. Also, this angle and this angle are also vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So this angle is congruent to this angle, and this angle is congruent to that angle. So this congruent to that, and this congruent to that. All right. So what that tells us is how to match up these two triangles. Like this is basically a smaller version of this bigger triangle. That's all that's going on here. This is a smaller version of this bigger triangle. And because of that, they're similar triangles, right? Because they have congruent angles. All right. And so this is what we do. So I would say like this base DC matches up with AD or AE, which is right here. And actually, I forgot to write this, X feet, right? This is what we're looking for. We're looking for the measurement of this side of this triangle right here. That's what we're looking for. All right. Sorry if I was blocking the picture with my hand. So that's X. So think about DC over AE, right, is equal to, and then we got BD over BE, BD over BE, right? So we got BD over BE. And we can just set up a proportion like this. When we set up this proportion, then what happens is we just plug the numbers in and then we just, do our thing. So DC is 800 feet. AE is X. We don't know that, but we're going to solve the equation and figure that out. BD is just another leg of that triangle. So that's 700. And BE is 1,400. Now, why did I match these up? Because we're looking for corresponding pieces in these two triangles. So this would be the base of the triangle, and this would be the base of this triangle. So those match up, right? They're in the fraction together. And then this would be the depending on how you look at it, this might be the right side or the right leg of the triangle. And this is the right leg of this triangle, depending on how you look at it. So 700 matches up with 1,400, all right? And then we just cross multiply and cross multiply. So we got 700x equals 8 times 1,400, which is 11,200. And then we want to solve for x. So we're going to divide by 700. We're not going to subtract. We're not going to add. We're not going to multiply. Divide by 700. So we got x equals 11,200 divided by 700. Excuse my son Kwame coughing in the background. We got x equals 16. And actually, wait a minute. Hold up. What's going on? Something's not right. So I think I left a 0 out. Let's do this again. 11200 divided by 700. All right, let's see something. 800 times 1,400. Yeah, I'm missing a 0. 800 times 1400. Yeah, that's what it was. It's not 11,200. That's a mistake. That's a mistake right there. This right here is a mistake. So that means that's a mistake. Because if this is a mistake, that's going to make everything else a mistake. everything after the mistake. This should be 11 to 112 with 4 zeros. So 112, 2 zeros. I'm short on zeros. So this really is going to be, boom, 1,120,000. So 1,120,000 divided by 700 is 1,600. So X actually equals 1,600 feet. And the reason I knew that 16 had to be wrong, because that answer is not reasonable. How would this be 16 feet? Like, how would that even make sense? If this over here is clearly a part of a smaller triangle, and that right there is 800 feet, right? So this triangle is a smaller version of this triangle, yet this base is 800 whole feet. How could this base be 16 feet? It just don't make sense. That's one of the things I like about math. We can like test the reasonableness of the answer. So if we get an unreasonable answer, you know you made a mistake somewhere, and you know you got to go back. And it's probably a small mistake, like it was. I did my multiplication wrong. I didn't type enough zeros. All right, so the answer is 1,600 feet.